This week's video is going to be the finale of the all-wheel drive Voron V0 build. It's going to be a bit disappointing in some senses, but it is also going to be very, very exciting. I hope you enjoy.
Okay, it's finally time to test boot this. I'm really scared that I wired something wrong, but it should all be set to go. So I'm going to go with the 24 volt power supply first, which is the one on the right. That's the 48. Nothing's turning on. Interesting. And concerning.
This seems like as good a time as any for me to swap over to the voiceover. So right now I am troubleshooting the problem with the wiring that I was having because I have no idea what is wrong and I can't figure out what is wrong right now. I am using a multimeter and checking the different connections on each of the two power supplies because I don't know what is wrong, if it's something wrong on one of them, on both of them, on the motherboard side. I don't know anything. And what I learned is that what the problem was the C13 power connectors were wired up wrong.
A little quick progress update on the custom V0. It is mostly together and mostly wired up, and the big new part is that, well, right now it's off, I just realized, but it does have Clipper loaded up. I'm running Calico, which used to be Danger Clipper, but it's working pretty well. I got the homing fixed, which took me about half a day, a bit longer than I was expecting, to be honest, but got it all working. Got the toolhead mounted, got the accelerometer attached now, so I can do some input shaper calibrations and see what type of numbers I get in general, because I am curious. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna turn the printer back on and get to those tests. So I made a rather large mistake with the hot end for the custom Voron V0, and I broke the thermistor before I ever got a real chance to try it out, which is really, really disappointing. This is the CHC XL from Triangle Labs, I think it's called. The heater cartridge is over here. It's massive. But I am going to have to add a new thermal sensor, which is going to be a pain. But hopefully not too bad. I just found that there's a hole over here on the side. I could put a thermal sensor in there. Why would I not do that? I might do that instead. Because the original one just sat kind of like that. Sorry, my hand's so in the way. It just sat in there. And when I mounted the hot end, I had it mounted with the wires facing backwards, and they bumped into this, and I think that's what caused the pressure that broke the cable. Very disappointing, but fixable, and that is the important part for right now, at least. So I'm gonna get going on that, and then I gotta do some PID tuning. I managed to do PID tuning for the bed, but I haven't done it for the hot end yet, because, I mean, without a thermistor, it's extremely dangerous to apply voltage to the heater. So that's gonna have to wait. We're very close to finally getting some filament running through this hot end. It's taken a bit longer than I had hoped, but I got PID tuning running right now. I had to replace the thermistor in the hot end because I accidentally broke the one that came with it. But we are making progress now. Over here, this printer's going fast. I've been configuring my speed benchy run on this. And then I just basically swapped the filament profile to my standard PLA Plus profile, and it's printing beautifully, which is awesome. That's going to print a mount so that I can get a filament spool set up for this, somewhere practical-ish, and then we can get some filament flowing. I do need to tighten the hot end nozzle a bit more. I need to do a hot tighten because I haven't done that yet. But yeah, that's the update. I don't remember if I showed the new motor mounts that I made, but that's the new design. This is the old design. I had to replace the one on the right side because it was a little bit too low down. So I replaced that one first. I'm eventually going to replace the one on the left side as well, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. It's not too high on the priority list as it's working fine for now, but I will get to it eventually.
So, little editor's note here. I could not figure out for the longest time what I was doing in this part of the time lapse. And then eventually I realized that I'm remounting the Raspberry Pi. And the reason that I need to remount the Raspberry Pi is because I took the Raspberry Pi out. Because when I first mounted the Raspberry Pi, I didn't connect the power cable to it. And it has a jumper that needs to be connected, I've learned. So that was pretty stupid of me and cost me quite a bit of time because this is not the easiest printer to disassemble and reassemble and swap parts out. But worked out. Or so I thought. But then later, when I was printing, the printer shook and managed to pull the USB-C power cable out of the Raspberry Pi, turned it off.
this is going to be the last video on this printer right here for a very, very long time. Sadly, I've run out of time and I will not be able to get it printing, and I will not be able to get my speed benchy that I was hoping for. I've run into a few problems that are a little bit more complicated, like the Voron tube not wanting to stay in the extruder and me not having the time to disassemble everything. I'm going to be moving, and today was the last day I had to get this working. So this is the state that the printer is going to stay in until I come back. It is mostly working. It needs the extruder to be taken apart and have a better ptfe holder solution. The hot end is working, the motion system is working, the cooling is working, everything except the extruder. I had to make some quick modifications to the Z belt idler because it was too low and it wasn't letting the bed get to the correct height. Now that is fixed. I did end up just drilling a hole into the aluminum extrusion because I was out of time. I didn't want to take everything apart just to put in another M3 nut in there, but yeah. So that is the somewhat disappointing end to this build series. I hope you guys enjoyed. I learned a lot, and hopefully I will be able to build a new one of these sometime soon. Thank you for watching.
Starting next week, I will be posting videos of the FormBot Voron V0, specifically comparing it to the Physek Voron V0 that I had back in Portugal. As both printers are about $420 US and have very different build and part experiences in my opinion. But I'll get into all the specifics of that in the video.